all over her. The kindergartners, you know, they just love like having a good time and singing and dancing and counting and all these things they do. And it's like, she was like, we can't do that on Zoom once a week. It was terrible. And so, I mean, I'm with you. I think once you pick like your age group, you're going to be cool with it. But if you think kids is your way to go, I mean, then I think you got to go multiple subject because what I did, the only reason I did multiple subject, don't get me wrong, I wanted to do a single subject. There was no online program for single subject at the time
Exactly.
in 2014. So
Yeah.
now there is, like you look them up, there's some opportunities. There's some good ones actually. There's some good opportunities, like, but the thing is, it's still going to be a time thing, but there's some good ones from like, it's called Aspire, right? The district. And like, they actually like, once you get in, they give you a job right away, you know? So like, and the thing is when you're doing the program, you're actually working as an intern. So you're already hired as a teacher and you get a salary. It's not as high as the first year, but it's like right there. And I think I wish I would have done that because obviously like doing a credential program for a whole year with no salary, I was like dead broke at the time and I was in super debt. And I was still had to put like, I didn't even know how to put gas in my car. And I had to go all the way to Roseville to student teach every day for like what, a year and a half. It was like so hard for me to keep up with it. Even though it's online class, like you still have to do the hours in classroom, right? So like
Yeah.
it's, but at least you didn't have to do the, people who go to Sac State or a traditional school, they have to go do their teaching, you know, student teaching, and then like take an hour off and then go straight to Sac State and do their classes.
Yeah.
And they're there until like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And like, I didn't have the time for that. I mean, I wish I would have just like you said, I didn't do the prereqs during college. You know, I went to my Spanish major as honestly as like my third option. Like I was trying to do other things and I just like ended up just keep like getting pushed around majors because I wasn't putting the work in. And I got to the point where I was like, I need to graduate. You feel me? Like I've already been here for 5 years. Like I need to figure this out. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to graduate. I know it sounds like bad, but I just needed to graduate. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with Spanish. I'm gonna knock this out. So I never did the teaching stuff. You know, if I could play back all those days, I'm like, bro, I could have just went straight to Sac State instead of going to junior college because I got into all the state schools. I just decided not to go. You know, and then people do that stuff, right? They knock all that stuff out in 4 or 5 years. They're teaching right away. They got a master's, or, but you know, my life didn't work out that way, which is okay. But
Yeah.
that's just how it works.
Sometimes it's not a direct path.
No, it's not. But you know, my parents are teachers, so I guess I was just fighting this thing that was like
Yeah.
on my back. My mom and dad were telling me like, "Don't be a teacher, right? Do something else. You know, try something else." And then like as it started going towards like, "Hey man, you've been in college 4 years. Like, just be a teacher. Like, you can do this." You know, like it wasn't like something like just do it to do it. Like they saw that I coached, that I like you said, like you were working with kids with music. I work with kids with soccer all the time. Like they
Yeah.
saw that I had a connection with 4 year olds, 5 year olds, you know, 15-year-old. I could do it. So it's like just knock it out. And so the plan was to have a backup plan. And I'm glad that I did it, that I was able to like knock out that. I don't know how I did it, Becca. That was like online school has definitely transformed now because they have Zoom and stuff. But back then it was like these modules, right? They just posted it.
Yeah.
I like, you know, me, I wasn't reading all this stuff. I was reading some of it. And then I would try to write the, you know, 2 replies to the discussion board. It was like, it was not good. I didn't learn a lot. And then I think teachers, when they learn, it's when they're in the classroom, student teaching. When you get that great, they used to call it master teacher, but I think they changed the name to like CT. I forgot. I don't know what it stands for anymore, but it's like your co-teacher, I guess, or whatever. Whoever the main teacher is there, and then you're student teaching for them. Like they're the ones that teach you the most. You know what I mean? They're the ones like, hey, this is how you do it, and they just throw you in there with the sharks, and you got to figure it out. And like, I don't know, it's gonna be hard, Becca, but I think you know what you want to do. I think you got to go with multiple subject though, to be honest, because this is what I did. I did multiple subject and then I used my Spanish major. And that's how I teach Spanish because as long as you do 35 or something like that, higher units of a major, then you can teach that subject. It's called authorization.